Hi everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Coffee with Rob. Today my guest is Dave Seckel, one of the best male players in the country, 5.0 pro level, and I want to welcome Dave to the show. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
What got you started in pickleball? I know your background was you played tennis at Otterbein College and you played it very well. So how did you find out and get involved in pickleball?
So my doubles partner that I've been playing with in pickleball now, Will Wilson, we've been playing for a little over 4 years now. We were actually college tennis doubles partners. And when we were, probably by junior year, we were pretty burnt out from tennis. So his dad introduced him to the sport back in Michigan. And, you know, he introduced it to me early in senior year of college. But honestly, I was like, nah, you know, he's still got tennis going on. I wasn't really big. He made me wake up and go play at 6 in the morning at a local rec center, and you know, being a senior in college, that wasn't high on my list of what to do in January.
At 6 in the morning.
So yeah, I actually didn't like it at all at start.
Wow.
And then once we graduated, we were pretty burnt out. You know, I had really bad elbow problems, knee, back, pretty much my whole body, and I was just kind of tired of it. So I was kind of looking for something to do after I was finished, where you know I could still be active, still get a little bit of a workout, while also still using my racket background. So pickleball was a pretty natural fit for that.
That's interesting because there's a lot of people that I talk to that did get injured or have a knee issue or a back issue. And it's like you look at some of the other sports, it's, I'm not going to be able to do that, especially as I get older, which you've yet to experience, but you will. But anyway,
I feel it.
I think it's really cool that you found an outlet for that, and you've got quite good. So give me the journey from finally deciding you liked it to being a 5.0 pro.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a pretty natural transition from tennis. Thankfully, I enjoyed doubles more in tennis to begin with. I enjoyed the net play, the volleys. So I already had those stroke mechanics. So really the big thing was trying to learn the strategy, trying to learn to hit the ball soft rather than trying to play the tennis game of all the power. My first tournament I played was in Nashville at 4.0 with Zach McDivitt, another one of our friends that plays, who's also a good 5.0. But we played 4.0. We played honestly a lot of old people. It came pretty naturally where our athletic ability got us through that. And then after that, I realized, it's a lot of fun traveling, playing tournaments. So after that, I kind of told Will, I'm like, let's try practicing a little bit. Like, I think we can do pretty well with this. We're one of the younger ones getting into the sport. At that point, it was before a lot of the other young guys got in. So we said, hey, let's try to practice. Let's try to become one of the best teams. And the progression was basically, Will had a little bit more of the background down from playing in Michigan. So he was telling me how you needed to incorporate those third shot drops and the dinks. And at first I was a little hesitant towards that, but once I realized, that's the winning strategy for it, it was pretty natural as far as, trying to develop those strokes and get consistent with them.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you what are some of your favorite tournaments? Maybe the first one that you won, and then maybe since, either the way they're run or the competition level that shows up, or any issues like that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good ones. As far as, there's a lot of different categories, like you mentioned, where you get to go, and then how they're run, and then, competition. So, I mean, obviously the U.S. Open stands out, getting to go down to Florida. We always have a pretty nice setup down there where we can stay for a whole week. We get to play 4 different events usually. Get nice weather, when it's still, coming off the winter up here. And then, other ones that stand out, it's obviously always great to play local tournaments. So, the Arnold Classic, that's one of our favorite because it's right in our backyard. We don't have to go very far.
Who are you playing with in the Arnold? You're playing mixed and men's?
Yeah, I'm playing men's with Will, and then I'm playing mixed with Sarah Parker, who lives, it's actually, her maiden name's Yates. It's Kyle Yates' sister.
Oh,
so she lives in North Carolina, right near Zach. So.
Very cool. And you're playing in the 5.0 pro division.
Yep, 5.0 pro men's and mixed.
That's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to bringing you that tournament. One of the things I do want to point out is your age. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. You and Will were among the first kind of younger players to play in a sport that's been perceived at the outset as just for older folks. It's really not. And watching you guys that are younger come in and play with your youth and athleticism and obviously skill level, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that by 2028, this could be an Olympic sport.
It could be. I mean, a big part of that is if other countries jump on.
Right.
You know, I know it's starting to grow out in China and a little bit in Europe. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see younger players get into it. I was watching on YouTube the 2013 or 14 national championship for just the pro, not for the senior, and it was 50-year-olds in it.
Right.
With one younger guy who I think was 22 or 23 at the time. Where now you look at it and it's all 20-year-olds outside of the the outliers like a Dave Weinbach or a Matt Wright. But no, generally it is.
Notice you didn't mention my name, but that's okay.
It generally is like the Kyle Yates, the Ben Johns, you know, those young guys that. I say that as another young guy.
Every sport goes like that. I mean, we love hockey. We love the Blue Jackets, and we'll probably mention them here in a minute anyway. But I mean, it's a young man's game sometimes in those sports. You know, you notice a step slower in a guy that's 35 versus a guy that's 25 skating up and down the ice, and it's just it's good to see. I don't know if I want to call it a youth movement. I just think it's younger people going, that looks like fun, and then they get out there and try it, and like, okay, this is great, I can do this.
And I'll tell you from a viewing perspective, watching the 2019 National Championship is a lot more exciting than watching the 2012, let's say.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's younger, it's more athletic, the reflexes get quicker, the ball goes faster, and people have just kind of come up with new shots.
Makes the shots look amazing.
Yeah, the
somebody gets a ball you didn't think you could get.
Yeah, the Ernie's become a big thing. Round the post has become a lot more popular. Now you have Ben Johns kind of brought in the jumping Ernie where you're kind of earning at the same time. So, you know, without that athleticism, a lot of those shots wouldn't happen.
Dave, I want to thank you so much for being a guest.
Yeah, thank you.
We look forward to maybe talking to you again soon.
Yeah.
We want to wish you good luck at the Arnold in the mixed and in the men's. You're going to be playing some familiar foes and some friends, so that ought to make it kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And again, thanks to Alice McKeever, the owner, the Sweetwater Cafe in Dublin, Ohio, in the Bridge Park complex, for letting us be a part of her coffee shop and the ambiance going on here. To have our Coffee with Rob show. So thanks to Alice. And we look forward to seeing you at the pickleball tournaments and out on the courts.